Sneeze with James Whittingham.
Well, hello, it's me, it's James, and we're going to have a little talk again this week, aren't we? Another little talk. You and I. Conversing, except you're not going to say a fucking thing or I'll slap your ass. I'm really upset by the Oscars. And I'm a little embarrassed by it because I don't know why I'm upset. I mean, it's not like I shouldn't be upset. I've seen lots of other comedians are particularly sensitive to the idea of violence against comedy. I don't know why. It's in my psyche somewhere. Maybe it's happened to me before, or the fear's always been there. Or maybe I was just beaten to a pulp as a kid. One can't necessarily remember, but it had bothered me. And I live in Canada where, you know, you fight in hockey and it's considered the best part of the game. I hate fighting in hockey. You know, I'm not a hockey fan per se. I used to be when I was a kid, but I'd never been to a hockey game until I was. And then I saw a fight and I thought, this is barbaric. What the fuck are they doing? This is acceptable in our society? I didn't have kids at the time. I was just about to have kids. And I thought, I'm not taking my kids to a hockey game. So I didn't until, you know, they were old enough to understand. Not that I understand. It was just totally fucked up. The Oscars. And, you know, everybody watches the Oscars. But they watch it. You know, everybody's watching it. I don't hate watch them. I love the Oscars. I've always loved the Oscars. I've loved the movies that the Oscars celebrate. Almost always, I love them. And I'm not a film stuck-up nerd. I like those movies. I do like, you know, that is fair to say also that I don't like superhero movies that much. I don't get as much out of them as I do, say, an Oscar-nominated Best Picture. But that's just me. Maybe I didn't read enough comic books as a kid because I was illiterate. So blame it on my stupidity for not getting more into comic book films and superheroes. I do watch them. I do enjoy them, but I don't enjoy them as much as I should. I just don't get that excited about them. So when that slap thing happened, I knew right away it was real. I didn't know it was real until he, you know, threw his fist across his face and assaulted Chris Rock. But I didn't have to wait for him to sit down and start shouting obscenities and see the look on his face, which he could not fake. Will Smith, capable actor, could not pull shit like that off. Chris Rock, capable actor. I know that reaction. I know it. It was real. And it was just so sour to see the Oscars soured like that. Just shat upon after my whole life and another life before mine of dignity and celebration of the art form that I studied in university, that I fell in love with when I was a child going to the theater every week. And I just watched fucking Will Smith's movie. Now I don't want to look him in the face. Now I'm triggered to see his fucking face. I cannot even see him and not feel bad. And I just watched him in King Richard, which I thought he was pretty good, but not Best Picture, not Best Actor good. I saw some inconsistencies. There was just something that pulled back the understanding of him. He also reminded me of my brother Bill, the character he played, which I thought was a positive in the portrayal of him. Anyway, I can't get over it. It's like the world changed. It's like September 11th. It's like Trump being elected president. It's like, and then the Oscar slap. That's how I feel about it. It's just, for me, my world has changed. The Oscars will never be a safe place. The Oscars will never be guaranteed. I mean, the fuck up at the end of the Oscars a couple of years ago with the reading of the wrong name, that was pretty legend. The world is falling apart, people. Okay? It's falling apart. I went and bought an air freshener at the Dollar Tree, $1.25. Searched through them all, found a red one because I like red. And it was a berry scent. It was one of them. We recently had one in our tiny bathroom, and they call it real estate agents call it a powder room. So it's just a toilet and a sink, and that's a small room. So you should be able to smell it, and I can't. And no, I don't have COVID. I've been checked for COVID, and I smell everything else. I smell myself. I'm smelling myself right now. But I'm telling you that this thing, this air freshener, this wax cone that imitates the Glade air fresheners, has no scent. No scent whatsoever. I put it right up to my nose. It is a piece of colored wax that has no scent. It does not absorb scent. It is supposed to emit scent, of a pleasant berry scent, and it does nothing. The world has gone to shit when you can't get an air freshener for your shitter that smells like something, anything. Even if it smelled like a bad imitation of berry, we'd be ahead of where we are now. But no, the world has gone to absolute motherfucking shit. People are assaulting people at the Oscars, and they're not getting hauled away, and then they're getting applauded when they win the... What the fuck is wrong with this goddamn world? What is it? If the COVID factor wasn't bad enough, and don't blame this shit on COVID. And don't blame it on mental illness, because there's been no talk of mental illness yet. He certainly seemed to completely lose his shit. And the fact that he had his publicist come on at every commercial break, at 3 commercial breaks before his award or whatever, to find that perfect tone to hit, leads me to believe that and then dancing with the fucking Oscar at a party afterwards, like nothing had happened. No, you bitch slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. You go home and you're a mouse. Nobody knows you exist. You hide. Okay? Air fresheners don't stink. Oscars, I don't know, man. It's just, I've got a sick admission for you. I've got a very, very sick admission for you. And it's not sexual. It's how the war in Ukraine has made me feel normal. This is normal. War somewhere far away is normal. It's what I grew up with. There's always somebody invading. As much I am completely distressed by that, I am, as much as anyone. And it's just, I've got to take a break from the television set because I am just full of empathy for the Ukrainians. But at the same time, somehow it feels normal. As bad as it is, if you can count on bad things that you are used to, then it's somehow the world is what it's supposed to be. And it's a lot scarier when the world is not supposed to be what it's. Now tell that to Ukrainians who were living their life just fine until this shit happened for no good reason. All right, the computer's asking me, I'm being asked, what is my favorite candy? Good question. Thank you for the question. Let's see here. My favorite candy is anything that tastes like the fruity flavors of red, orange, and that's it. Red or orange. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be? I'd be a horny banana. This is essentially what I've always been, is a horny banana. Yeah, a little bit brown, a little bit, a few places around, bruises. The peel starting to come off a little bit. Something like that. And as I get older, the banana gets soft and less fresh. It's beyond ripe now. It's now moving into the not so ripe section. If you had to change your name, what would you change it to? Madonna. If she didn't take it already, I would change it to Madonna. Something with Zach Powers or something stronger and less British. What are you interested in that most people haven't heard of? Staying with sex? I'm kidding. I'm not going to talk about sex. I would say, yeah, okay, here's something I'm interested in. Aviation. I'm interested in air traffic control. Sometimes I go down a rabbit hole of air traffic control on YouTube, and I listen to when planes get in distress. It's like reality television for me, except this is actual reality. Reality television, of course, as you know, if you were smart, is so fake. It's so fucking fake. I have smart people in the TV industry who watch reality television. I think I can't watch 5 seconds before I think, fake, fake, fake. That's fake. Obviously coached. I mean, it's so obvious to me, and yet these people watch it. Now, I can suspend my disbelief for a lot of things. I'll watch schmaltzy movies sometimes and get into it. But ultimately, reality television, I know how they do it. It's obvious stuff, and it's you create drama and conflict where there isn't any. So you take that away, and you take the music away, and you've got kindergarten at best. Somebody fighting over a banana. What's the last book you gave up and stopped reading? The phone book. What's your worst habit? Overeating. What's one of your favorite smells? Overeating. And digestion 8 hours later. What's your earliest memory? Interesting. My earliest memory is going downtown with my mother and going to some sort of restaurant, some sort of open space restaurant, and having a pure orange drink in a glass. And I remember just being fixated on how orange the glass was filled with orange drink. It wasn't orange juice. It was orange pop of some sort. And that's my earliest memory for some reason. Of course, it's food related. It's why I'm fucking obese. You lost all of your possessions but one. What would you want it to be? Oh, shit. I'm going to have to say my computer. Because I create with my computer. I don't know. That's a tough one. What's something you wish you'd figured out sooner? Women. Can't say I've fully figured them out. But I know how they operate now. I know how they go. I know what the deal is. I wish I figured that out in high school. Or maybe even earlier. You know? And by the way, it's pretty easy. What was your favorite teacher and why? Who was your favorite teacher? Oh, I didn't have any. My kindergarten teacher is the last teacher who gave me any respect. She cast me in Little Red Riding Hood as the wolf. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I sparkled. What is one of the greatest value that guides you in your life? Don't harm others. In your group of friends, what role do you play? Beastmaster. What's your worst habit? Frequent masturbation. Pizza or tacos? Ooh, pizza. But tacos second or third. What is something you could never seem to finish? Career success. What's on your bucket list this year? Career success. Who inspires you to be better? Everyone with career success. Have you ever saved someone's life? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But I am pretty good at swerving and avoiding accidents sometimes. And there's been a few people I've had to question whether they would have survived it or not. What's something you learned in the last week? That the gummies I bought aren't in fact CBD only. What issue will you always speak out about your mind? That's racism and sexism. What's the story behind one of your scars? Got a little round scar on my my right wrist. Yeah, you can barely see it now. It's on my right wrist. I was put on a horse when I was 3 years old at Buffalo Days festivities in the city of Regina where I lived. And I didn't want to get on a horse. I was scared, and I got off, and my dad was a smoker, and a cigarette went right into my hand and gave me a scar. I don't remember him being too upset about it. I don't remember me being upset about it. But I remember not wanting to get on the damn horse. It's not one of those scars that get you chicks either, you know? It's a conversation piece, but it's not really a nobody likes to see their dad scar their child. What's the best thing you got from one of your parents? My dad was a decent man. My mother was not. I got decency from my dad. What is one of your favorite smells? I'm French fries, the grease in a restaurant, baking bread, anything chocolate. What would you do on a free afternoon in the middle of the week? I would podcast. What's one of your favorite comfort foods? Chips and dip. It is my kryptonite. And if chips and dip didn't exist and we went back in time and somebody uninvented chips and dip, if you were looking at me now, I would drop to half the size I am. And also probably have long flowing hair. What is an incredibly strong opinion you have that is completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things? I guess the fact that I live among rednecks. That it's a very rednecky place I live. It really doesn't matter. You know? Rednecks are everywhere. What languages do you speak? A good question. None. Do you have any nicknames? Now, when I was a kid, I was called Jamie by my parents, and everyone called me Jamie. And then the Bionic Woman came out, and people were calling me Jamie Summers. Haha, you're Jamie Summers. Haha, grade 3. And then I saw a James Bond movie, and I realized I went to St. James Church, and I realized that my birth certificate said James, so I changed it to James. So if you call me Jim or Jimmy, it means nothing to me. You know what I mean? You might as well call me Harry or Frank. This is a completely different name. However, my friends call me Jim or Jimmy as a ironic nickname. I've been told ironic. I'm not making that up. Jay said it, in case you're asking. Yeah, it feels perfectly natural. It feels like a nickname. An endearing nickname. Term of endearance. Would you rather be stuck on a broken ski lift or a broken elevator? Depends if I was by myself. If I was by myself, I could piss off the ski. I worry about my bladder. But, you know, you could die in an elevator. Somebody could shit on the floor. I don't know. Ski lift seems better, fresh air. And they'd come get you faster. You could see them coming to get you, too. What dumb accomplishment are you most proud of? Getting second place in wrestling in grade 8 in my weight division out of 2 people. The fact that I participated and was terrified to take off my shirt and then finally did and then get dropped on my head almost immediately by someone twice my size because, you know, it was everyone over X number of pounds and that guy was a lot over X number of pounds. I was a little bit over X number of pounds and he dropped me on my head. But I'd freaking feel great about it. I just, you know, I got my number 2 ribbon. I still have it maybe somewhere today. All it says is number 2. Do you ever sing when you're alone? Yes, in Christmas songs in the shower. What talent would you show off at a talent show? That's tough because I don't do stand-up comedy. Boy, I could dribble a basketball 6 times. I don't know. What's one place you've traveled that you never want to go back to? Wyoming. Fuck you, Wyoming. We hit a deer in Wyoming. I didn't like Wyoming before we hit the deer. There's a lot of deer in Wyoming, and we hit one of them. And then we had to deal with the local sheriff, who was he was what you would expect, in the middle of nowhere. We had to call 911 twice in order to, that's what they told us to do. In order to get the police, you have to call 911 for anything. So they transferred me to another 911 service, and I had to say what my emergency was twice, and it wasn't an emergency. I don't know. I felt like I had to put on a podcast with the thoughts of my day, and I did. And I've got a good mind, not, you know, just to scrap this recording and put it away, but I'm not going to because I care about you. I know if you're still listening, that you're really into the stupid things I'm saying. So good for you. So I'll be back. And one of these days, I got to put some fucking effort into this show, you know, some real strong effort. I just haven't figured out what that was. The pandemic threw me through for a loop. I'm just struggling to find the joy in a comedy podcast for now. But I'll be back. I'll be there, barring death. See you soon.
Connect with James on social media by searching Sneeze Show. Thanks for listening.
Sneeze.